hear some music coming. That's from your side?
Oh, you can hear it? Oh, my wife's probably watching some show out there.
Yeah, no, just light. It's just,
Hmm.
Hello everyone. We're so glad that you are here. Thank you so much for coming on. Today is Monday the 19th. Wow. We're heading toward to the end of February, and it is exciting time for all of us who are in OnPassive. It's exciting time for all of us who are actually stay plug in and get involved in our business. And so we're happy that you are here. Thanks so much for being here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Today is February 19, 2024. My name is Julie Nguyen. I am coming to you from the USA. And my dear friend Michael, we are always excited to be here. Michael is coming from Canada. Michael, if you could please say hello.
Hello, everyone. Happy Monday to you all. Today's Monday, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Monday.
today is Monday. We're excited. It's the most exciting day of the week.
Yeah, just yesterday felt like a Saturday to me for some reason. So I think I'm a day behind.
And so but yeah, we are excited every Monday to be here. It's a family day, on passive family time and day for us. So every time when we get together, we talk about OnPassive. We're excited about things that are happening. If you are just joining us, thanks for being here. As always, on Monday, the hour before this hour, we get together on our OCONNECT to talk about question and answer, do some clarifications and all that stuff. So we always do that, and the attendees or the panel can actually submit their question ahead of time. And so if you have questions at any time, you can send your questions in ahead of time. There's a form around, so if you ask anyone around, they'll be able to send you. Otherwise, obviously, you can ask me as well, and I'll send you the form for you to submit questions ahead of time. So today, Michael and I get together in our live discussion. As you know, we've been doing that for a while, and we love it because a lot of the topic that we are discussing revolving around on passive and live and business and stuff like that. So it's really a discussions that we're both interested about. And sometimes we talk together and we thought, oh, it would be nice if we have our friends coming in and listen and giving their comment and stuff like that. So it's great. So today, Michael and I get together and wanted to talk about OnPassive interconnected. As you know, one of my favorite word is interconnected. When Mr. Ash Mufareh asked, what is one word that you could describe OnPassive? And at that time, I said interconnected because I see that everything in OnPassive is actually connected, and everything that in OnPassive is connected to also the world outside of OnPassive. And today we did talk about this topic a while back. I wanted to bring this topic back, but I always wanted to talk in a sense of the cause and effect. As you understand, or if you've probably seen it out there, cause and effect, I believe, is a law. And there's so many, as I was driving back home visiting my daughter yesterday, and I thought about the cause and effect of it's the most important fundamental principle in our life. What we do affecting what the result of it, what we do, the cause, and what we do in the middle is actually give us the result, the effect of it. And so it's not really something that we prepare to talk about. It is just something that it comes up and we wanted to talk about it. So Michael, interconnected, interrelated, and there's cause and effect. And so that's the topic we talk about. How excited that is.
Well, I think all the topics are excited, Julie. Because it always has to do with OnPassive.
Mhm.
So how can it not be excited? To me, OnPassive is one of the most, if not the most, exciting business venture I've ever been in. So it's always excited to talk about OnPassive, and certainly, everything is interconnected. You know, when we talk about cause and effect, what does that really mean? you know but before I get into that, it's important that people understand that this forum, right, with Julie and myself, like, we don't come here to give you updates about OnPassive, okay, or give you news about OnPassive. Like, that's not what this forum is about. There's lots of webinars and other forums that do just that. As Julie stated, this is our conversations. We talk all the time, and a lot of what we talk about, we think that there's some relevance for others, not just to keep it amongst ourselves, but if our conversation can be heard out there, maybe someone can take something away from our conversations. No different than the messages I send out. It's, if someone can get a little nugget in there somewhere, if something can just be meaningful to people, then so be it. That's what we do. That's who we are. We are two individuals who love to help others, and we will continue to do so in OnPassive and outside of OnPassive, because that's what we do, right? So cause and effect, right? Causes, right? That's usually, like the action, right? Whereas the effect is usually the result of the action, right? So cause, effect, action, result, right? Choices, okay? So you make a choice, right? As to, if there's an event, if there's an action, something happens, then the effect will be the reaction, right? How do we react to it? Okay. And in all of that, we have choices, right? We can always make a choice with, I would say, everything in life, even though sometimes you think you don't have a choice, but you do. You know what I mean? Oh, I had to do that. Did you have to do it, or you chose to do it? Right? It's a choice. Okay. And I believe everything in life is like that, and this is no different. OnPassive is no different. Okay, it's a business, one that is geared to, trying to bring the best out of people, trying to put people in the best possible financial situation, trying to help people to be able to help themselves and help others. So to me, everything about OnPassive is positive. Okay. And it's a choice. I can choose to see it that way, right? Or I can choose not to see it that way. It's a choice. Okay.
Mhm.
I can choose to be in OnPassive, or I can choose not to be in OnPassive. Right. I can choose to have this conversation right now, or I can just click, what is it, leave, click leave, and I'm gone, right? It's a choice, folks, right? People who are listening today, it's a choice. You choose to be here, okay? And you can choose how you react to the information that you're hearing from us, from our conversation. It's a choice, okay? If you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Life is beautiful, folks, once you understand that everything is a choice. Everything is, and you can make positive choices, negative choices. Nobody is perfect. We make mistakes, but even when we make a mistake, how do we react to that mistake? Even if someone wrongs us, how do we react to that? Right? You know, um, your loved ones. You know what I mean? Your cousin, your brother, your sister, your spouse, whomever, they've done something to you wrong. You feel disappointed, right? Like, how do you react to that situation? Right? No different than your child goes to school and, wow, hey, mom, dad, I got an A+ in functions. Fantastic. Like, how do you react to it? Hey, mom, dad, I got a F, in functions, or English or whatever. Right? How do you react to it? You know what I mean? Right? We all have choices, and I'm here to say that I think we're always better when we make positive choices, right? When we react to things in a positive way, right? Even though we may not like it, but we can still react in a positive way. So everything is interconnected, not just your business, but your personal life, your social life, your business life. Everything is interconnected because you have the choice as to how you react to everything around you, Julie.
Absolutely, Michael. Sorry, I've got someone calling into my computer that kind of really distracted me. Yeah, I love what you pointing out here, Michael, because everything that we are doing, there are results of something. We can bring up some examples, Michael. For example, if you miss a steps, if you were to walk on the stairs and you miss a step, what the result of it? You trip and you fall, right? If you're eating unhealthy, right, you get sick easily, right? And if you choose to have a negative attitude, you're probably not going to have a good day, right? So those are kind of example. That's the cause and that these effect. And so let's take a look at OnPassive, right? When talking about OnPassive, we're looking at the vision of OnPassive. The vision of OnPassive is so clear, where Mr. Ash Mufareh, our CEO, stated his mission, and because of that cause, it's so just and so big, so clear, so defined. That's what he's doing. The action of it is to achieve that visions, right? And so that's a cause and effect we're talking about. Now, when we're sitting here talking about cause and effect, we should ask ourselves, well, why was OnPassive created? Because of that clear vision, right? And why does OnPassive grow as so fast as it is now? Because of that clear vision, right? And why does that everyone wants to come in and wants to work for OnPassive, want to be part of OnPassive, right? Because of the work that OnPassive does. So the cause and effect, to me, it is a very important part of our life. What we do give us a result. Whether or not we want the result or not want a result is really based on the cause of it. It's a complicated subject, but I think
It's
it makes sense, Michael.
it's complicated, but it's simple.
Yeah. So, like you said, we really have to look at things very simple, right? What do we want?
Mhm.
What we do, the action that we do will give us the result.
But I still go back to choices, right? I still go back to um, ultimately it's up to us,
Hmm.
right? We are the decision makers, right? And so yes, here's OnPassive. An OnPassive is going about its business, and OnPassive has its mission, and OnPassive is decided this is what we want to do as an entity. This is what we want to do. Okay, we want to uplift humanity. We want to be able to create value out there in the marketplace, and as a result of that, customers will come and revenue will be generated, and we want to share that revenue, with others, right? It's simple. It's not rocket science, right? You can do this, Julie. I can do it. I can say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go and create a whole bunch of, I'm going to supply bottled water, right? Let's say, okay, I'm going to supply it. And so that's going to be my product, right? It's going to be bottled water. And I'm going to, instead of selling it for, I don't know what Perrier goes for these days, but instead of selling for something expensive, I can choose to sell it for $1, right? $1 a bottle, right? So that way everyone can afford it. You know what I mean? Because there's some folks who can't afford Perrier water. It is what it is, right? So, but no, I'm gonna give them water because this water is still good for them. It doesn't have to be sparkly. You know what I mean? It doesn't be nothing fancy. People just want water, quenches their thirst. Your body's made up of 75% of water. So I need to replenish, right? I need to stay hydrated, all of that stuff, right? And so I make a choice. This is what I'm going to offer to the world. And so because people are going to get it as a cost effective way, right? People are going to be happy. And a lot of people are going to come because they can't afford to pay $2 or $3 for a bottle of water, but they can certainly afford $1. Or maybe I sell it for 59 cents, like whatever. Something that I know that the majority of people will be able to afford. So I'm going to supply that to them. Okay, how do you think people are going to react? Cause and effect. How are they going to react? People are going to be excited. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you're selling this thing for 59 cents, whereas over there they're selling it for $3. I can't afford paying $3 because it's something I need a lot of, right? Cause and effect. Okay, so OnPassive says, hey, you know what? Yeah, we know people can go to GoDaddy and go buy a domain name. So why are we offering a domain as a service to people, as a product? Why? Okay, we know that people can go use Zoom, but so why are we coming out with OCONNECT, right? Like why? Okay, do we think there's a need? Absolutely, there's a need out there. There's no reason why people should be paying thousands of dollars a month for a video conferencing platform. Why? Right? Who made up that price? Show me the justification of that price. You understand? It's not necessary. OnPassive said, well, no, for $100, couple $100, whatever, people can get something that is similar and it's going to be far more cost effective for them. It's going to save them money. We can do this. Cause and effect. How are people going to react to that? What will be the result? For us getting involved in OnPassive, cause and effect. What will be the result of us making the choice to get into OnPassive? What will be the result, right? And so people have to look at that. People can't look at OnPassive in a partial vision by saying, well, I got involved 3 years ago, where's my money? That's not a model, right? How does that work? It has to make sense. You have to be able to sell something in order for you to generate income. Show me a business where you don't sell anything at all and yet you make money. Where is that business? Okay, so it doesn't work, folks, right? So if we have the right causes, then we can get the right results, okay, the right effect. OnPassive wants to create the right effect. So the cause is for OnPassive to create value for the marketplace, and then the right results is going to be customers upon customers coming into OnPassive, and then on our end now, all of that is the cause, and then the effect to us, the result to us, is commissions in our pocket. So then we can now take that further and have our own cause and effect, which would be cause of me getting commissions, cause of me earning an income. Now I'm able to results, pay my bills, okay, be able to travel, right, be able to fund my retirement, take care of my children's education, etc. Cause and effect. Cause and effect is a principle that exists in everything in life. Everything. Okay, no matter what you can come up with, there's always cause and effect. There's always action or an event, and then there's a result. Okay, and so that's why I come back to choices. Okay, no matter what the action is, no matter what the event is, we have a choice as to how we react to it. Oh, I've been here for 5 years. Where's my commissions? I put a withdrawal in. Where's my commit? How do we react, okay, to these things, folks? Because that is going to, basically be the trigger, right? Like Julie said, how your day is going to be. Not just your day, but how your week, how your month, how your year, how your future is going to be. It's how you react to the various causes in your life, right? How does one react to it, right? And so to me, if you stay on the positive side of things, you tend to have a better life. Not necessarily one that's filled with riches, okay? Not necessarily one that's filled with riches, because there are a lot of poor people who've had great lives, right? They've lived a very fulfilled life. So it's not always about money, okay? Right? It's not always about money. We're talking money because we got involved in a business. When you get involved in a business, you get involved in order to make money. That's where money comes in, okay? But as far as cause and effect goes, it's in all areas of our life, right? And if we can understand that, then maybe we can learn how to control our actions, control our reactions, right? And in turn, control the results that we're looking for. because everyone wants to have a happy life. I would have to believe everybody wants love, joy, peace, happiness, all of that fancy stuff, right? But we can get that by controlling the choices we make as to how we react to events in our lives.
Absolutely, Michael. Choices, right? Well, all of us who are in OnPassive, whether or not we are early birds or customer, we all came in from the one place, right? We start by being part of it, and we make choices whether or not we sign up for a free account or become an early bird, and then we make choices whether or not we just park it and see what happened. Or some of us, like many of us, who have decided to say, this is an opportunity for me to build that business that I never had before. So we come along and we learn about OnPassive, and and the result of it is that we have a business online. We have a business in our hand that we would never imagine that we'd be able to do that. Right, Michael? Because all of us here who are in OnPassive, who really decided to say, this is my business. I'm going to stay on top of it. I'm going to know exactly what happened, what's coming our way, what to expect, without us expecting it. But, we know exactly what's going to happen, like, because we're on top of it. And we decided that let's take this as a business that I've never had a chance to ever dreamt in my life, and be able to build that business today. And many of us who are very excited, it's a choice, it's the attitude that we're putting into our business. And that's the action that we are taking every day. And the effect of it is we have a business that I don't think I could ever imagine building this kind of business.
Well, the thing is that most people, you know, would have to agree with that, Julie. Most people will never start a business on their own from scratch, right? And those who do, they've failed many, many, many times before they finally, get to success. And that's if they get to succeed, right? Because some folks have gone to their grave and never experienced success of a business. Okay, so we know that's a given. So it's not an easy task. In other words, right? Not because you get involved in a business mean that you're going to win, right? For most people, that's not the case, right? It just isn't. There's hundreds of millions of people out there that are engaged, even right now as we speak, in a variety of businesses, and they're not winning, and they will never win. Okay, that's just facts, right? But yet here we are in OnPassive, and I am confident to say that everyone that's involved, all of the early birds, the ones who chose to get in, in the beginning before we open up to the public, I'm confident to say that all of us will win. Okay, at various levels, of course, but regardless, all of us will win because we made that choice to get in. Okay. And so if you get into something that is going to create a positive result, a positive outcome, how can you not win? Right. And OnPassive has taken all the right steps and continue to take all the right steps to ensure that that is the case. Right. It's just that in our mind, things don't happen as fast as we would like it to, but we're thinking from a different place than what the company is thinking. The company's outlook is not the same as our outlook. The company's not looking and says, well, let me look and see who can't pay their rent this month, and let me go help that person. Like, that's not what the company's not doing that, and they shouldn't do that. Okay. The company's looking at the big picture. The big picture is, how can we uplift humanity? How can we help the global population, not just one or two or three individuals? Right? That's the company's, big picture. For us, we're always looking at ourselves. We're always saying, well, I hear all of that, but I can't pay my bill that's due tomorrow. Right? That's how we're looking at it. See, that's one person. That's one person's bill. That may be $50, $100, a couple $100, right? Whereas the company is looking at the globe, looking at 8 billion people, saying, how can we help not one person, not two or three, but how can we help 8 billion people that's on this planet? What can we put in place that is going to have an impact, right? So maybe the direct impact is to one person, but then by that one person getting the help they need, okay, that's a trickle effect, okay? And so that one person is able to help themselves and their family, and they in turn is now able to help two other people, right, outside of their immediate family. You understand? And OnPassive helps another person, and the same thing happens. Help another person, and the same thing happens. It's a chain reaction. And that's how you get to help the entire globe, because there is more than enough people that's in OnPassive already that will be able to take that message out there to the masses, right? And that's what OnPassive wants. OnPassive wants you to be able to help yourself and your family, but also with the understanding that when that happens for you, not before it happens, but when it happens for you, that you in turn be able to help someone else, right? And to me, that's a great message, Julie, right? That is a great message. And so it's all interconnected, because OnPassive's goal, vision, mission, passion, all of that is connected to our vision, mission, passion, and so on, okay? And this is iron sharpeneth iron, right? So as we go out there and we're doing good, okay, it's gonna rub off on somebody else. And this is, you know what? Yeah, I kind of like this. You know what? Let me go see who I can do something good for, and so on, right? There's power in that, folks. There is power in that, okay? And that's exactly what we see happening. And even from a corporate standpoint, when the companies out there making these partnerships, right? And these people are aligning themselves with OnPassive. Okay, you don't think that rubs off on other entities out there, other companies? When they look and see what's going on, they're like, you know what? Hey, I want to be a part of that too. How can I be a part of it, right? And then OnPassive makes another partnership, another relationship, right? And the same thing. They now, okay, it's a trickle effect, cause and effect, right? They now rub off onto someone else, and and this is why we have so many partners today. Did we have all these partners 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago? Did we even think that we would have all the partnerships that we have now? No. Okay. Did the company think that, you know what, we're going to have our own data center from the very beginning? No. Right. But as things progress and opportunities presented themselves, the company certainly took advantage of that to help us be in a better place so that we can maximize our full potential in this company. That is exactly what is happening, folks. So not because you can't see it right now doesn't mean it's not happening. Okay, there are things happening right now in the world that you can't see. You know what I mean? You may be living in Africa and stuff going on in Europe that you don't know about. You know what I mean? So there's things going on in the world that you are not aware of, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. So there are things going on right now in OnPassive that you may not know about or you may not see, but it doesn't mean that things are not happening, right? But the bottom line is we continue to trust the process because we believe, right? We believe based upon what we've seen, not blind belief. We're not saying, oh, yeah, and we haven't seen anything. We've seen so much. That's why we can be so confident in our belief, right? So you see how that works,
Yep.
right? Your faith gets stronger based upon cause and effect. The cause, you see so many different events, okay? So therefore your faith now becomes stronger. And as a result of your faith being stronger, now you're able to have confidence. Now you're able to encourage someone else, right? That's how that works, folks. And it's just amazing when you see it play out right before our eyes.
Yep. Not only that we get to see it, we get to experience it as well, based on the products that we have. Success is not an accident. There's a saying, right? Success is not an accident, and failure is not an accident as well. I mean, our CEO, Mr. Mufareh, have said it before. If you are putting 100% in your business, OnPassive will put in 200%, right? What you put in your business is actually what you will harvest as the end. So many things that are happening in OnPassive that they put so much work in it. And the result of what? the products that we have, what we're seeing right now, and the partnerships that we have, the events that we have out there, right? So I mean, this is a very interesting things that I feel like every single day we personally myself we examining ourselves, you know, what do we do that gets the result that we have today. I think there's a quote by Earl Nightingale's. What did he say? Our rewards in life is always matches our service, right? So the reward for so many of us who are here is the kind of effort that we're putting into our business. The reward for us today is because of OnPassive. Um, it's all interrelated and interconnected to each other. The actions that we do every single day is giving us the result of today.
Yeah, it's a direct relationship,
It
right?
is.
There's no doubt. Um, you know, look at your family. Look at how you react or you interact with your children. Let's say for those who have children, right? And then you see the results later on in life. You know, what did those children end up doing for themselves, right? You know, did they grow up to be have a positive impact on society or a negative impact on society,
Mhm.
right? And usually you can go back to their childhood and see, you know, what were some of the events, some of the causes, okay, of those interactions, okay? What were some of the values that they had inside their household, etc., right? Who were some of the relationships that they had? You know, who did they hang out with? Their friends, you know, and so on, right? All these things we can look and see, right? And we can gauge even, you know, because many studies have been done. The same goes for businesses, right? This is why in schools you can study consumer behavior as part of a marketing degree, for example, right? And so companies spend a lot of money, a lot of time trying to understand how consumers think. You know, how can we get them to buy our product? What do we need to put in front of them? You know, what's the sales message that needs to be conveyed? You know, so again, companies understand cause and effect. So if I do this, right, then this is going to be the outcome, right? And so this is why I always said, if you know how to make $1, like you can make as much money as you want because you just have to repeat that action over and over and over and over again. Okay. And that's what companies do, right? Apple says, hey, you know, we know how to sell one iPhone. So guess what? We'll be able to sell a lot more than one, right? We're just going to repeat the same action over and over again. And then they got into a rhythm. Hey, all we have to do is just keep coming up with a new version, right? And people are going to line up and ready to buy it. Even though they have the last version, they're going to buy the next one and the next one and the next one. You know what I mean? The things that people do, it's really amazing when you study, you know, us as human beings, study our patterns, study what makes us tick. You know, again, you can come out and you can say there's certain words that you can say to people to get them to react a certain way, right? Especially if you're in a relationship, right? You probably know, okay, I know if I say this to my spouse, you know, it's going to trigger them. You know what I mean? If I say this to my spouse, it's going to put a smile on their face. If I, you know what I mean? Like it's cause and effect, folks, right? It's all the same thing. And that's what we're saying. There's causes and effects in every situation that exists on this planet. Okay. If you want to talk about the environment, you know what I mean? Okay, well, you go burn down a forest and then see what the impact is going to have on that community. You know what I mean? The air is going to be bad, right? You know, all the pollution, if people are going to get sick, you know, all these things will happen, right? You come into a community and bring a plague inside there, and you know in advance what the outcome is going to be, cause and effect. Okay, you inject money into society, right? Into an economy. Okay, you know what the effect is going to be. You decide to cut jobs from the workforce, you know what the result is going to be. Cause and effect. Okay, these are things that people study on a regular basis because it's that important. So we, as individuals, should have an understanding of this, and that's what we're trying to impart to you today with our conversation to help you understand, the how things are interconnected, right? How cause and effect works in relationships and all aspects of your life, including our own passive business, right? Because it's all the same, folks. I remember our CEO said that how you do anything is how you do everything. And that is such a true statement. It really is. To give you an example, yesterday, I spent about 6 hours raking sand, at this track and field meet. So I was volunteering my time. And, you know, my wife was saying, like you're just doing the most. Like no wonder, your hand is blisters and all these things, and because you're just doing the most. Like what do you mean? Well, because you're doing it perfect. Like you're sanding, you're raking the sand like perfect. Like every time one person jumps, and it's a nice and perfect for the next person, and so on and so forth. And the person I was working with is like, hey, we don't need perfection, okay? We just need it to be just done so the next person can jump and so on. But again, how you do anything is how you do everything. So I wasn't really trying to do it perfect. I was just doing it the way I know how to do it. And this is the response I'm getting from, not just my wife, but also from the person that was working the event with me. How you do anything is how you do everything, right? Again, cause and effect. So whatever has caused me to be that way, we can see the results, right? I can see the results, right? I can see, what happens as a result of how I was brought up and my, various interactions over the years, and circumstances. Okay, that is life, folks. That's how it works, and that's what we're talking about when we say cause and effect in everything that you do. Right? Take kids, put them into a positive environment. Chances are, on the other end, they're going to come out having positive experience and doing positive things and contributed in a positive way to their community. Same thing for relationships, okay, with your spouse, whomever, teachers. Okay, it's all the same, folks. Same thing with your business on passive. Cause and effect. Understanding that this business is going to change your life in a positive way. It will. No matter how much time has passed, it doesn't matter, because it's all for the betterment of the business. It's all for the betterment of your life, right? It really is, because when you think about it, folks, what else is out there? What can people actually go out there and do today that's going to have a significant impact financially to them and their loved ones? You tell me. Other than having a 9-to-5 job, what can people really do? Right? Most people don't have the money that it takes to engage, in businesses, that can produce, a relatively significant income. Okay. How many people can go buy a franchise? Don't have the money to do it. How many people can really invest in real estate? Don't listen to those guys that tell you, oh, no money down, you don't need no money, blah, blah. Don't listen to that stuff. Okay. The reality is money needs to be spent. Okay. And most people don't have it. But people do have a few bucks, Julie. Mm-hmm. People can spend $20 a month, maybe a couple $100 a month. People have a few bucks and they can do that with it. Disposable. Okay. But people work so hard that it's very difficult to go and take up $10,000 in today's climate and say, well, let me just put it here and see what happens. Okay. Very, very few people can do that. Right. That's right. And so therefore we have to be wise in what we're putting our hard-earned money towards. OnPassive says, hey, right? You pay once to get in. We did that. You pay once to activate your account. Okay? Most of us have done that. Right? And then this is what's going to happen. Here comes Catmo and so on and so forth. Right? When we understand all of that, Julie, we are at peace. We are relaxed. We are calm. And we just watch and trust the process and wait for everything to unfold. Right? Because that's just how it works. I've used this example so many times. You want to go build that dream home, right? Guess what? It takes time for that dream home to be built. But you trust the process, though. You trust the people that you've hired to go and put this all together for you. So you come there one day and says, okay, all right, there's nothing happening. They haven't even broken ground yet, right? But then you come back another time and it's like, oh, wow, hey, the foundation has been laid. Then you come back another time, oh my gosh, they're putting up walls now. You know what I mean? Right? And over time, wow, there it is, my dream home. You understand, folks? That's OnPassive. OnPassive is your dream business. That's what OnPassive is. Your dream business, a business that does not require or depend upon your ability to go out there and sell A, B, C, D, and E products. Not your ability, because if it depended upon your ability, you would fail, right? And so when we understand all of this, Julie, then we are at peace and we just love it.
Absolutely. I love that you brought up CATMO, because there's a lot of cause and effect in CATMO. In order for you to have targeted traffic, right, you have to have a complete digital solutions that runs automatically, in order for you to have that targeted traffic. And then in order for you to make money, then you have to also have a complete digital solution that runs automatically in order for you to provide the targeted traffic and having the desired income. In order for us to have a beautiful plate of food, we have to have all the great ingredients together. In order for all of us to have a great business that working very well, right? We have to have the time. We have to have the right people. We have to right ingredients in our business as well. So there are so many things that we could use, that we, when we were thinking about it, cause and effect is very important in our life. What we decide to do, it's the attitude and the choices that we make, right? Every actions will have an equal of the reactions that comes out of it. And it's really awesome, actually. I
Yeah.
gotta look more into this cause and effect law, because the more we talk about it, the more it sounds very interesting, and it's clear. It's the action that you take equals the reactions that comes with it. Very interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You can spend a lifetime learning about cause and effect. You really can. You can look back at other people's lives, and see, where they started, and what were the events that led up to the results that we see today,
Mm.
right? Because there's usually some sort of event, something happened, right? And this is the result of that something that happened,
Mhm.
right? Um, you know, war. It doesn't matter what it is that you take. There's something. There was a dispute that took place, and as a result of this dispute, now you have full blown war. You know what I mean? One person was aggressive or was bullying this child, and as a result, something bad happened. You know what I mean? Uh, in everything, folks, you should be able to see and be able to identify the cause and the effect, right? You should be able to do so. The way we think, right? Based upon a person experiencing loss after loss, failure after failure after failure, then we cannot expect that person to all of a sudden just thinking all positive and everything is great and trusting. And no, unfortunately, it doesn't work that way for most people, right? So even with our mindset, right, there's cause and effect. There's a reason why we think the way we think, and as I said, we have choice. So even though you've experienced negativity in the past, even though you've experienced failure after failure after failure, the person that truly succeed are the ones that can overcome that. They can look beyond all that failure and says, you know what? I'm not going to give up. I still believe that there's opportunities out there. I still believe that there's a way out. I still believe that there's a better way for me to take care of my family, right? that person who doesn't give up, that's the person who wins. Now, we're not talking about people who are foolish, right? Okay, a person burns you once, and they burn you twice, and they burn you 3 times, and you keep going back, you know what I mean, for the 4th and the 5th, and okay, well, that you're just being silly at that point, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking about that, because we have to learn from our mistakes, Julie, because we will have mistakes. We'll make bad choices, but then we learn, okay? Cause and effect, okay? We learn from that. Some people choose not to learn. Some people want to see the same business model over and over and over and over again, and yet it's the same business model that they failed with over and over and over again. So why would I want the same business model? That just wouldn't make any sense to me at all. So I want a different business model, and that's what OnPassive is providing to people, is a different business model, an actual model where you can and will succeed. There's a difference in that. And to me, that gives hope. That gives hope, Julie. You know, there are people out there, even poor people, that are out there spending the little that they have, throwing their money away at this and that, all these shiny things that they see. Oh, this crypto promises 10% a day. Oh, this one promises 30% a month. You understand? Oh, this business, just throw your money in and it's going to double in 6 months, whatever. People throwing their stuff, just throwing money away, right? And they're losing month after month. There are people that's involved in some companies year after year after year after year, and every month they're paying. And in the end, they have nothing to show for it. Your job, okay? People go into their job year after year after year, Julie, and after 40 years, they have nothing to show for it, right? And they think that is the solution. Absolutely not, okay? So we have to be wise in what we do, because there's going to be events in our lives, but how do we react to those events? Do we learn from good or bad? Do we learn from them? Okay, so then that way now we're more prepared for the future. So when I came across OnPassive, Julie, yes, you know, we fully believed that it was possible to have CapMo, that it was possible to have a complete automated system, including targeted traffic, that can make sales for people, Julie, right? Sell whatever product that you're, we fully believe that when we came up on OnPassive, right? So it wasn't a hard sell. It wasn't difficult to understand and see what the company wanted to do. And so we jumped in because we know, yes, it is possible. But the difference in the model, Julie, was that here's a company that says, we're going to do things our way. We're going to do things from scratch. Forget what you know. Forget what you're used to, because all of that doesn't work and has not worked for people. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here, now would they? Right? So when you lock arms with a company like that, then you have to expect cause and effect. You have to expect the result to be different. You can't have the same experience or the same result, Julie, if what you're going through is different than what you've always gone through and gotten to failure. So in order to get a win, right, I must do something different. It's like if I'm making a cake and I put in, 5 ingredients, let's say, and it comes out and it's terrible. Well, if I put those same 5 ingredients again, chances are it's going to come out terrible again. You know what I mean? But maybe if take this ingredient out. So now it's different. It's not the same. It's similar, but it's not the same because it's not the same ingredients, right? I only put 4 now instead of 5, or I put 6 instead of 5, right? It's not the same, but it's similar, right? Because there's some elements in it that are similar. Just like you can have a business that is similar to other businesses, but it's not the same. Similar because some of the elements are the same, right? But it's different. It's not the same. That's what we have in OnPassive. We have something that is different. It is not the same of what people are used to out there, what people have seen. Therefore, the result will be different. And that's what all of us want. We don't want the same results, Julie. We want a different results. And that's why we chose OnPassive.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad we talk about this topic, Michael, because cause and effect sometimes come along with cause and effect is the comma that comes with it as well, right? But that's something that we can talk about that later, because it's a very interesting topic. And I thought I'd bring that up today. There's one more thing that the last point that I want to talk about too is it's in regarding to, some people who have not seen the bigger picture of on passive. And they said, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get, I don't want to I don't want to learn about on passive, or I don't want to do this and that. But what if we reverse it? What if the attitude and the choice that we make of saying, you know what, even though I don't know much about it, but I choose to learn it. I'm taking the actions to look into certain part, the videos, the conference. I'm learning more about the products of on passive. The effect of it is that this individual will have more positive attitude toward looking at on passive, toward help me out here, Michael, because I'm trying to wrap my head around the choices that we take every day in the opportunity that presented in front of us.
Well, it's like I'm a person. I believe in presenting, whatever I'm offering to everyone, right? I don't like to. Well, you know what? I think this is for Tom, but no, it's not for Susie. Do I really know that, right? But if I put it in front of Tom, if I put it in front of Susie, then they can make up their own mind about it, right? And also, I like to have all the information, right? Give me all the information. I'll go through it and check it out for myself. Then I can make my own, draw my own conclusion, right? I can make my own decision, right? And so that's what it is with people, is that they have to, for me, they have to see everything. They have not seen on passive in its totality, right? They've seen on passive up until now. Okay, but what's going to happen when you have your domain name now? Well, we're probably not going to get that. Okay, well, you probably said we wouldn't have an office in Egypt, and we wouldn't have an office in Dubai, and we wouldn't have an office in Singapore, and blah blah blah. Oh, we wouldn't have had any products. Well, guess what? You have products now. OMAIL and ONET and OTRIM. Oh, guess what? Oh, here's OCONNECT. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, people always find excuses, Julie. And unfortunately, in life, we can't help everyone. Some people will always find an excuse, no matter what. Even when they see things right there in front of them, they'll still will make an excuse, right? That's just people. You know what I mean? So for me, here's the information. People can take a look at it. OnPassive is giving you the best deal in town. Just get a free account, right? OnPassive is not saying, well, you got to pay money first before you get to see what we have to offer. It's no, just get a free account. And once you have your free account, hey, there is no rush for you to buy anything that's inside there. Here's your ecosystem. It's yours for life, for free, right? And when you see something that you like and you want to buy it, hey, that's also a choice. Go ahead and buy it. If you don't see anything you like and you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you don't want to be an affiliate, don't be an affiliate. You can just be a customer for life. Choices, Julie, choices. Okay. But remember, though, the choice that you make, there's going to be a result. There's going to be an effect, cause and effect. Your choices, okay, is what's going to impact the result. Okay. If a person chooses not to get in, then how can you win? If a person chooses to get in, Julie, and they don't do anything, oh, I got my free account, I'm just sitting here. Well, what do you expect is going to happen? Right? Yeah, you'll be able to see the next product and the next product and the next, but you're not in the game though. You just got in the door. You know what I mean? You're inside the stadium, but you're not in the game though. You know what I mean? It's like you're sitting on the bench and the coach hasn't put you in yet, right? Because you're just sitting there twiddling your thumbs. You're not even paying attention to what's going on. So why would the coach want to put you in the game, right? So, people, Julie, people have to make up their own mind. I'm not one to make up, force someone or coerce someone, or you know what I mean. None of that. Twist their arms and no. Here's the information. Do what you want to do with the information, right? Because I believe that there's enough information that suggests that OnPassive is the right company. OnPassive is the company of choice that is going to help you get to your desired destination. Absolutely. Will it happen overnight? No. It's not going to happen overnight. I'm not going to get in today and then tomorrow, boom, I'm a millionaire. It doesn't work that way. right? I'm not going to get in today and then tomorrow, hey, I'm making a couple $100 a month. Woohoo, I'm rich. No, okay, that's not what OnPassive is. Okay, but if you understand all the principles around this business, it makes sense. It's no different than Apple coming out and says, you know what? We have these early bird founders, and when we start selling our products, you know, one iPhone, two iPhones, three, version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? The revenue is going to come in, and we're going to find a way, a legal way, to have a legal model that allows us to share that revenue with individuals. Think about it. When you work for a company, what is the company doing? They're sharing their revenue with you. Your job, when you go to your job and you work for XYZ company, the company needs revenue to come in. They have to sell whatever service or products, right? That revenue comes in, and then they take that revenue now, some of it goes towards expenses, okay? And guess what? Your salary that they're paying you is part of that expense. So where's your money coming from? From the revenue that came into the company. Okay, what is OnPassive doing? It's going to generate revenue by selling products that comes into the company. Then what is the company going to do with that? Right? We have to understand the model. It has to make sense. And it has to be legal, Julie. Right? Not just in one country, not just in two countries, but wherever they're engaged in doing business. It's as simple as that. Okay, but it's complicated in the sense of there's things going on behind the scenes that needs to, work itself out so that no matter where we are, okay, we have a stamp of approval for doing business. Okay, it just makes so much sense to me, Julie. So I'm not sure why it doesn't make sense for some people, but like I said, people have to open up themselves, they have to open up their mind, right? They have to be able to see things clearly, right, without coming with any prejudice, right? Without coming with any expectations. Just come and open up yourself to receive the information that is presented, go through the information, and then make an informed decision. Okay? No one's going to cause you to lose money. No one's going to cause you to spend a arm and a leg. None of that stuff. That's the old model, Julie. Welcome to the new.
Absolutely. And I'm glad we talk about this topic. OnPassive knows the timing, right? OnPassive know the timing, the decisions that they're making, and I'm 100% entrusted with what they're doing. And so, well,
goodbye.
There you go. Everyone, thanks so much for being here. We do hope that this topic that we brought on today will, have some effect in you as well. Because like Michael said at the beginning, we're not here to giving you update, but we're here to bring up the the values of what we see in OnPassive and talk about it. So thank you, Michael. I'm glad you're here today.
You're most welcome, Julie, and it's always my pleasure to be here. Absolutely.
Take care, everyone. Good day. God bless you all.